G'day there, ladies and gents. Mark Wallace here from Econisis. Hope you're all doing well. It is the end of the third week of July 2023 here for this video. So just a quick one to apologise for the lack of videos over the last couple of weeks. I unfortunately not only had to travel for my business in northern New South Wales, which was an amazing trip, I then subsequently got the flu and proper flu. So strongly recommend, if you have not already got your flu vaccination this season, go and get it because it is a doozy. And it took me offline for the best part of 10 days. So glad to be back and glad to be making some videos here today. A lot has happened since I had my last video, one of the most important ones being the announcement of the new RBA Governor, Michelle Bullock. She was announced by the government as being the replacement of Philip Lowe when his tenure ends I believe it's September of this year. We've also had some commentary about the RBA decreasing the number of meetings they're going to have next year, which I think is a bit counterintuitive, but I'll do another video on that one. But I just want to talk quickly just about the new RBA governor and some comments that she made earlier in the month about the fact that in order for inflationary pressures to come down, her view was, or the view of the RBA was, that the unemployment rate in Australia would need to increase to 4.5%. Now, the Treasurer has come out and said that this is something of a uncontroversial comment, and it is if it's viewed within the context of historical economic theory, being that inflationary pressures are a result of an overheating domestic economy, of which low unemployment rate is a output or an outcome of that, and that if unemployment rates increase due to a slowing economic activity, that also then correlates to lower inflationary pressures. The problem with that is that it talks to a number of, increasingly obsolete economic theories that no longer really apply to the same degree anymore within the Australian economy. One of the ones is the fact that in terms of the current inflationary pressures, as we've seen from I've seen around the country and around the world, that the primary drivers of those are supply side external and corporate profiteering, basically. And neither of those two things are as a result of an overheating domestic economy. What we do have is low unemployment, and we've just had the June quarter unemployment figures come out, and it's still at 3.5% unemployment, which is near historical lows. What we're not seeing, however, is even in the face of a slowing economy and slowing economic activity, we're not seeing unemployment. And that's because the businesses have entered a labour hoarding stage of their recruitment cycle. Because of the structural nature of declining scale of the labour force relative to the growth of the economy due to the ageing of the baby boomers, there's a lot of businesses who are struggling and have been struggling for quite some time now to get access to labour. Skill shortages continue to be rampant within the economy, and as a result of that, businesses are less likely to, even in the face of declining business activity, to let people go. So when you have these structural and cyclical drivers that are resulting in lower unemployment, they are a symptom of an overheating or an inflationary economy. They are the result of structural and cyclical labour force demand factors from the business sector. So when you look at the comments coming from the new RBA governor that unemployment rate needs to rise in response to or to decrease inflationary pressures, it is a complete misread of what's happening in the employment market here in Australia. So that is a little bit of a concern, and hopefully that view gets tempered a little bit with the changing of the guard at the RBA and some of the mistakes they've made by not calling out corporate price fixing and price gouging and profiteering, not addressing the supply side pressures to the same degree, not leaning on the government to use some of their tools in order to decrease inflationary pressures. When all of these things, hopefully we see some of these things with the change of guard, and that these more traditional economic theories which don't apply anymore, that we start hearing less and less of those from the should be the esteemed economic institution within this country. But that is it for today. I'm going to leave it there before my voice gives out completely. Thank you so much for all your support. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great one.